Audrey's up. She's talking about Mother's best biscuits, I reckon. She says, I like that kind, huh?
I'm just as happy as I can be. I found somebody just meant for me, and I like that kind.
Yes, I like that kind.
Oh, I like that kind.
Yes, I like that kind.
I'm just a fool about that kind of loving all the time. I've got a feeling that I can't lose. I guess I've got them lovesick blues, but I like that kind.
Yes, I like that kind.
Oh, I like that kind.
Yes, I like that kind.
I'm just a fool about that kind of loving all the time. Now he's my king and I'm his queen, and soon them wedding bells will ring, and I like that kind.
Yes, I like that kind.
Oh, I like that kind.
Yes, I like that kind.
I'm just a fool about that kind of loving all the time.
Say,
Johnny. Bought a house on the edge of town, and I know he'll never slip around, and I like that kind.
yes, I like that kind.
Oh, I like that kind.
Yes, I like that kind.
I'm just a fool about that kind of loving all the time. That man of mine won't make me wait. He's coming tonight in his Cadillac 8, and I like that kind.
Yes, I like that kind.
Oh, I like that kind.
Yes, I like that kind.
I'm just a fool about that kind of loving all the time. He takes me where I like to go, and he hugs me in the picture show, and I like that kind.
Yes, I like that kind.
Oh, I like that kind.
Yes, I like that kind.
I'm just a fool about that kind of loving all the time.
Hey,
Thank you. Thank you, Audrey. That's a fine song this morning. You have an awful good voice. Friends, we'd like to say to all you nice people, thank you for your cards and letters. We get a lot of them every day here on our Mother's Best show. Makes us feel awful good to hear from you. A lot of our friends that write to us are people that are shut in. About the only enjoyment they get out of life is reading and listening to the radio. A lot of them request the old-time hymns. Audrey's got one here that I wrote not too long ago. She's just recorded this for Decca Records. Hadn't been out very long. All the boys are going to join up with her, and she's going to sing you one now called How Can You Refuse Jesus Now?
There's a story old that has oft times been told of how our Savior died. As they nailed his hands, he cried, they don't understand. As the blood flowed from his side. How can you
refuse him now?
How can you
Refuse him now? How can you turn away from his side? With tears in his eyes, on the cross there he died. How can you refuse Jesus now?
As he hung there on the tree, he prayed for you and me. There was none his pain to ease. And just before he died, he vainly cried, oh, Father, forgive them, please. How can you
refuse him now?
How can you
Refuse him now? How can you turn away from his side? With tears in his eyes, on the cross there he died. How can you refuse Jesus now?
That's a mighty fine song there, Miss Audrey. Yes, indeed. That's a fine song, and here's something else that's fine. It's Mother's Best. That's the cornmeal to get, ladies, if you want your baking to have that real corn flavor that everybody loves so much. You know, Mother's Best is absolutely clean cornmeal, too. That means something for cornmeal to be cleaned. It's twice cleaned, washed with air, washed with water. Also, Mother's Best is self-rising. It has the baking powder and the salt already added, skillfully blended, and exactly measured so that you have the same perfect baking results time after time. Ask your grocer today for Mother's Best self-rising cornmeal. Ladies, it's twice cleaned. It's Mother's Best. Now, Hank, our time's just about all gone.
Clock has done cotched us, ain't it? Means we're going to have to get our cheese hoops and gourds and go. We want you folks to be sure and listen to us tomorrow morning. We got a special attraction, I reckon you'd call it, wouldn't you?
Oh, yeah, we got
Special treat for you in the morning. Be sure and be listening to us now. It's called My Long, Tall, Tight Wad Daddy. Let's go.
I'm only kidding. I got a long, tall daddy, but he knows nothing about love. I'm satisfied to be his turtle dove. We don't hold hands 'cause we both wear boxing gloves. He's my long, tall, tight wad daddy. The way he counts each penny is a crime. He just can't stand to see me spend a dime. Lord, the only thing he spends with me is time. He's my long, tall, tight wad daddy. What'd you say, Donny boy? Now for weeks and weeks. Can't buy no rouge, I have to slap my cheek. My daddy is just so doggone tight, he squeezed. He's my long, tall, tight wad daddy. He's the tightest man a woman ever seen. My engagement rings done turned my finger green. But I guess I love him 'cause he's the doggone me. He's my long, tall, tight wad daddy.
Thank you. You're telling the truth, Wade.
Yes, sir. Look here.
See what it did to my finger?
Audrey, I'll declare, she held her finger up there, and her finger just red, and
All the hides off.
all the hide come off. What'd you have in that?
One of them $1.98 ring, man.
Well, why didn't you get one that fit her anyway?
Hadn't fit.
Wouldn't even get one that fit her. Well, now, Audrey and Hank and all you boys, I want you to meet our special guest for today. We've
Done met him.
We've been looking forward
Years
for
ago.
this a long. I know you know him, but these boys don't here. We've been looking forward to this a long time, neighbors, because, well, down Birmingham, Alabama way, they got a boy down there that hoops and hollers about Mother's Best flour just as loud as we hoop and holler up on this end of the gatepost. And I think that you folks in this part of the country ought to meet him. And I know all the folks down in Alabama that hear his voice will know immediately who it is. It's our old buddy Joel Rumore. Let's give him a whooping and hollering welcome.
Come on up here, Joel. Thanks an awful lot to you, Cousin Louie. Howdy doody, fellers. Hank, how are you getting along, boy?
Fine, I'd start telling him we had 'em right between us. We ain't got a change there.
No, not a chance at all. It's awfully nice being up here in Nashville. Good to see my good buddy boy Sambo Pruitt there, too, Hank. We used to sell a few Mother's Best biscuits down that way about 4 years ago.
Huh? Pretty this morning, ain't he?
Yeah, you notice that? Must have got the new breeches for Christmas, Hank. I reckon so.
Hi there.
Got the tire last Christmas.
You know, Cousin Louie and Hank have been listening to you now on WSM at 7:15 every morning for such a long time, selling those Mother's Best biscuits. And then when I go to work myself on WVOK about 9 o'clock, I kind of take up right then. And ain't it a lot of fun, though, telling the folks about wonderful biscuits like Mother's Best, though, huh,
Oh, you
fellas?
can say that again. Yes, sir.
And you know, Cousin Louie, last Saturday I had the pleasure of visiting the folks at the Alabama Flour Mills, Mr. Johnson, Mr. Carter, and Mr. White, and all of the salesmen. And boy, we've really got some big news to start telling the folks real soon now about Mother's Best Baby Chick Starting Mash with famous C.1951. We're going to be hearing more about that,
You're
too,
not
Louie.
kidding, and I wouldn't be surprised if the folks out there won't be moving in closer to the old radio to hear what we got to say about
Yeah,
that.
which one of them was that bought us that breakfast that morning from the building?
That was
Must have
Tom
been
White.
Tom White.
Tom
yeah.
White.
Yeah, he's old.
Fine man, ain't
Oh,
he?
he's on money bags, Tom White,
Yeah,
down there.
that's a boy.
But you know those...
Down and fed us just in royalty, didn't he?
Oh,
Why,
he did. He
sure.
took the whole gang down, Joe, and bought our breakfast here.
Well, now, we had us a great big dinner ourselves last Saturday, Louie. I think it cost the mill about a couple $1,000, but they didn't mind. You know, Louie, speaking of this C.87, though, we're going to be hearing more about Mother's Best Baby Chick Starter. It actually gives the folks 10% more growth in chicks and still costs 4% less. Now, isn't that wonderful now?
That's a terrific deal. Of course, now, you jumping the gun on me. I thought I was going to be able to tell them first about it, Joe.
Well, I found out about it firsthand last Saturday, see, Cousin Louie.
Well, Joe, do you still sing?
Do I still sing?
Yeah.
Have I ever sung? No. I can't sing, Louie. I just like to talk to the folks throughout Alabama and Tennessee and Georgia and Mississippi. I let fellows like Hank Williams, who really know how to sing, do the singing, see, Louie.
Boy, that's your cue, Hank, if I ever heard one.
And you know, Hank, we've got a lot of wonderful shut-ins around Alabama and these parts up here in Tennessee and Mississippi and Georgia. I'd like to have a good sacred song.
We
so
sing
how
them
about
one
it?
every morning, Joe.
I know
We
it.
really do. Gonna get the whole bunch around you, Audrey, myself.
Can I
all
kinda
the
join
boys.
in,
Yeah.
too, on that, Hank,
Louis
huh?
joins in on these
right,
two.
come on,
You
Cousin
boys
Louie,
get
let's
in the
all-
back here.
All right.
Let's all get on one here. We got about a minute and a half here. Title of it is Why Should I Cry?
Why should I cry? I've never done you wrong. I kept my vows. You left me all alone. You told me you loved me. You told me a lie. Why should I pay? Tell me, why should I cry? Before God above, we vowed to be true. I kept my vows. What more could I do? You walked out on me without a tear or a sigh. Why should I pay? Tell me, why should I cry? You knew I worshipped you right from the start. Gave you my love, never thought that we'd part. You didn't care enough to even say goodbye. Why should I pay? Tell me, why should I cry? You know I miss you sad when you're living all alone. But darling, I'll forget you. Your memory will die. Why should I pay? Tell me, why should I cry?
Fine job, Audrey. Thank you a lot there you have it. One of my songs called Why Should I Pay and Why Should I Bawl? 'Cause you don't care at all. Write another one. Get your pencil. Right now, we want to do our morning hymn for all of our good friends and neighbors that listen to our Mother's Best show every morning. Here's one that I can say this, I imagine. I know I can tell the truth. We get more requests for this song than any number we do now on all of our shows. We're glad you like it. I wrote this song 2 or 3 years ago. By the way, you can buy this record if you'd care to have it. Audrey and myself on MGM Records. It's under the name of Hank and Audrey. I heard my mother praying for me.
Last night as I lay down to sleep, I heard someone began to weep. Then I got up just to see, and I heard my mother praying for me. She was kneeling by her bed, and tears of pain were being shed. She said, "Dear God, please hear my plea. I heard my mother praying for me." I got my Bible and sat down, and in the holy book I found the way to end this misery. Thank God my mother prayed for me. I read it on into the night, and soon began to see the light. And now at last my soul is free. Thank God my mother prayed for me.
Thank you, Hank and Audrey. Mother's Best, that's it, ladies. The cornmeal that's 100% clean because it's twice clean. Yes, Mother's Best cornmeal is washed with water, washed with air, and it's self-rising, too. The baking powder and the salt are already added, skillfully blended, exactly measured to give you perfect results time after time. Mother's Best self-rising cornmeal gives cornbread and hush puppies that real corn flavor. Ask your grocer today for Mother's Best, the self-rising cornmeal that's twice clean. That's Mother's Best. And now it's Mother's Best time to get out of here, too.
All right. Well, this guy in this song is a four-flusher.
That's right.
Audrey, all right?
Did you ever see that dressed-up guy that struts around with a grin? His shoes shined up, his hair slicked down, and his breath smells like sin. He's just a four-flusher, can't tell what he's up to. If he could only see himself like other people do. He sleeps till noon, plays pool till dark, and stays up half the night. I'm not the judge, but if I were, I'd say that it's not right. He's just a four-flusher, can't tell what he's up to. If he could only see himself like other people do. Now listen, boys and girls, you too can get some good advice. Watch out for the guy that wants to buy and never has the price. He's just a Some girls shine up to a city dude and laugh at a country boy. But if they knew what they'll find out, he's not the real McCoy. He's just a poor flusher, can't tell what he's up to. If he could only see himself like other people do.
Thank you. That's finer, I tell you now. I have seen some that ought to have that printed on their back and wear it. That's right. Calling no names, but I have seen a few that would do fit awful fine. Well, now I know that. I was just kidding with you there.
Told you it wasn't me.
I ain't gonna pick on you at all. Your breath don't smell like sin no how.
I ain't had a shoe shine in 6 months either.
If it'd been garlic or something like that, we could have maybe found.
We ought to tell Audrey about that anyhow. You know why his fella here's always kidding me about that garlic, fellas?
No, why?
Well, Christmas down there, Minnie Pearl brought some fruitcake down to Grand Ole Opry.
blame it on Minnie
Said that
now.
everybody have some, pass it around, and I reached out and got me a big chunk of fruitcake made with Mother's best flour, and I knew it was going to be good. So it turned out that her cook, in mixing up all the stuff in there, just dropped a piece of garlic in the part of the fruitcake I had. And I ate that fruitcake. I said, Hank, that's the funniest tasting fruitcake I ever saw. He said, I don't know how it tastes, bud, but I can sure tell how it smells.
Every time he started throwing me that night, I turned my back to him and said, talk, Buff. Keep talking. He wiggled out of it, didn't he? Minnie will get him by Saturday night, won't she?
That's good cake up to that garlic.
That was fine.
Cousin
Friends?
Louie, you go home with me and eat one of those Mother's best cakes that I bake.
All right, just tell Lola to put that coffee pot on here for long.
We will. We'll have her put the coffee pot on for long. But right now, friends, it's hymn time on our show. We got a lot of folks out there that listen to us every morning that we get letters from nearly every day, every other day. A lot of them are shut-in people. As I've said before, they tell me in their letters that about the only pleasure they get out of life is listening to the radio, reading their Bibles, and so forth. And they seem to like this song an awful lot. We get more requests for this than any number we do here on our Mother's Best show. Audrey and myself and a number you keep requesting. Here it is, friends, an awful pretty song. I think you're going to enjoy this. Title of it is, I'm Satisfied with Life, Don't Worry Me.
A year ago, just yesterday, I kissed your hand, you went away. I'd grown tired of being just a used to be. You thought you'd found your dream come true, someone who really cared for you. You left me satisfied with life, don't worry me. And ever since you've been away, I've knelt beside my bed to pray that no step will ever bring you near to me. And I won't worry if I know that you're happy as you go. You left me satisfied with life, don't worry me. The world has changed since you've been gone. My heart no longer drifts till dawn. And there's a smile upon my face the world can see. The lips that dared to kiss your brow, they never seem to miss you now. You left me satisfied with life, don't worry me. We'll just let well enough alone. You live your life, I'll live my own. For now I know what life alone can really be. No broken dreams and no regrets. I found a lonely heart forgets. You left me satisfied with life. Don't worry me.
Now, I tell you now, that's a pretty song. Ain't that a pretty one? I'm satisfied with life, just continue on and let me be. It's a fine way to be, too, boy. But is satisfied with life. If a man is satisfied with life, if he ain't got 14 cents, he's in better shape than a lot of kings, ain't he? Right now, it's time for our morning hymn. All the boys gathering around. Audrey and myself and all the boys, and one of my numbers called I Got a Blue Love in My Heart.
I've got a blue love in my heart. What can I do, love, with my heart? And stop this yearning, burning, while we're apart. I've got a blue love in my heart. So blue the night, so blue the day. Why don't you write to me and say you've got a blue love in your heart? And I'll come through, love, to your heart and stop this yearning, burning, while we're apart. I've got a blue love in my heart. Heart, a solid gold flame in my heart. It's like a weeping willow while we're apart. I've got a blue love in my heart. What can I do? Where can I go? I never knew I loved you so. I've got a blue love in my heart. What can I do, love, with my heart? And stop this yearning, burning, while we're apart. I've got a blue love in my heart.
That is the good one. That's the best one I've heard you sing in a day or two. Yeah, that's a fine one there. Got a blue love in my heart. I used to fiddle that in Rivers back in my old fiddling days. Huh? You don't believe I used to fiddle, huh? I'm a Mother's Best? Okay. I'm gonna play the fiddle here one of these mornings. Like my old days down, everybody down around Montgomery, Alabama, and down them woods know I used to play the fiddle. Yes, Lord. Didn't I, Sam?
To need to, didn't you?
Yeah, I used to have to. Let's put it that way. Yeah, played the steel, the fiddle, and all. Sam was the rhythm man, wasn't he? Well, sir, friends, you know, we get a lot of enjoyment out of coming up here every morning, and we know we got a lot of friends out there listening to us because you write to us, and that makes us feel awful good. Why don't you, today, if you ain't already done it, you go to your grocery store, get yourself a sack of Mother's Best flour. Give it a try. If the man ain't got it, tell him to get it. If he says he can't get it, tell him, well, you get somewhere else to trade. How about that? That's the best way I know of. Say, now, look, Herman, I want me some Mother's Best flour. Now, get it or I'll move my boarding place. Now, just either one. Remember, Mother's Best. When you get Mother's Best, that's the best you can do, 'cause you done got the best when you get Mother's Best. All our friends out there that request hymns, Audrey and all the bunch gathering around here now. All of us going to join in on this one. I wrote this song about 5, 6, maybe 7 years ago. Fellas in the key of D, all of you join in with me here. Called Model T Love. Let's go.
I want to do this especially for Sid, too.
All right.
This is all for you, Sid. Why don't you take me in your Model T and haul me off and love me where the moon is shining bright? And if the doggone thing breaks down, I'll help you push it back to town. Let's make some Model T love tonight. As we ride along in your Model T, I'll hold the wheel and you hold me as we ride down Lover's Lane. And if the motor falls out, we'll both walk back without a doubt. Let's make some Model T love tonight. Side by side down the road we'll go to the drive-in picture show. That is where the lights are low. Some gals don't like a Model T. Honey, yours is okay with me. Let's make some Model T love tonight. Jerry. Haul me off and love me where the moon is shining bright. And if the doggone thing breaks down, I'll help you push it back to town. Let's make some Model T love tonight.
Thank you. Thank you. That is a Model T Love, if you didn't catch the title. Thank you a lot. That's a good one. Friends, it's hymn time again on our Mother's Best show. For all our friends have been writing in asking for the hymns, here's an old timer.
Oh, I got the blues in my mind this morning. Blues.
Let's go.
I ought to hate you for these blues in my mind. What makes me love you? Am I losing my mind? I wonder where I'm gonna wind up. I just can't make my crazy mind up. Too many kisses brought me too many tears, tears that I'll carry with me all through the years. I'm just the broken-hearted kind, wearing these blues in my mind. I'm going crazy with these blues in my mind. How can you just keep on confusing is a having trouble with you. I'm just a broken-hearted kind, wearing these blues in my mind.
Oh, thank you. Wearing these blues in my mind. That's awful shape to be in, I'm telling you. That's just about as bad as having the lovesick blues, you know? Helm, if you'll hit that lick one more time, you're liable to get Oswald's job back there you hit just then. That'll get it. That's Audrey doing one of Roy's biggest numbers. Blues in my mind. Well, sir, it's hymn time on our show. Friends, we want to thank all you folks for your nice cards and letters. We're always glad to hear from you. Here's one that a lot of you've been requesting. Audrey and myself going to try to do it for you. Something got a hold of me.
At first when I heard of some people who claimed that the old-time religion was real, I said I'll go down, take a look at the crowd. It's just that weak-minded I feel. I walked up the steps and I peeked in the door, but the devil said, don't you go in. But I said it won't hurt me, I'll just step inside and I'll sit as far back as I can. But something got a hold of me, praise God. Yes, something got a hold of me, oh Lord. I went there to fight, but I'll tell you that night, God certainly got a hold of me. They sang like they meant it, they all clapped their hands. I said it's commotion, that's all. When they get down to pray, I'll just get up and leave, for I don't want to be seen here at all. But about that time he got started to preach, and he looked right straight down at me. He told everybody how mean that I was. He didn't talk like he thought much of me. I sat in my seat just thinking it over, and then they all started to pray. The fire fell from heaven, I fell to the floor. I prayed there and God had his way. For something got a hold of me, praise God. Yes, something got a hold of me, oh Lord. I went there to fight, but I'll tell you that night, God certainly got a hold of me.
Thank you, Audrey, and thank you, Hank, for a fine, fine song.